Wanna shake the ground, wanna break away, let loose. I'm tired of waiting, gotta make that move. All the neon signs, now they shout to me and you to write our story. Wanna shape the new. Do you wanna come along with me? Come along with me. Do you wanna? And we ain't got nothing, gotta do something, get it right. Gonna keep on running, grab the fun and live it light. And tomorrow's far away, should I let the party fade? And we ain't got nothing, gotta do something, let us all tonight. Got a restless mind, and now I won't let go. So let us be crazy before we're cold. You can take us out, your doubts won't hold us down, 'cause we're gonna light up the sky where we go. Oh, oh. Do you wanna come along with me? Come along with me. Do you wanna? And we ain't got nothing, gotta do something, get it right. Gonna keep on running, grab the fun and live it light. And tomorrow's far away, should I let the party fade? And we ain't got nothing, gotta do something, let us all tonight. I'm gonna let my hair down, I'm gonna take control. We're gonna make a big sound, we're gonna break the mold, the mold. And we ain't got nothing, gotta do something, get it right. Gonna keep on running, grab the fun and live it life. And we ain't got nothing, gotta do something, get it right. Gonna keep on running, grab the fun and live it life. And tomorrow's far away, should I let the party fade? And we ain't got nothing, gotta do something, let us all tonight.
Funny how the story goes, little hope but bigger dreams. They try to bring a sucker down, singing louder than the crowd. Listen the rhythm, I'm feeling brand new. Keep pushing forward, it's gonna save you. Never look down, love, not when we shine so bright. The sun is getting warmer. Oh, when we soar away among the clouds, the sky is just a border. Oh, when we're floating up like helium. Sip me up like lemonade. We both know it's bittersweet. The sorrowness will bite your tongue. No one is forever young. No. Listen the rhythm, I'm feeling brand new. Keep pushing forward. we soar away among the clouds. The sky is just a border. Oh, when we're floating up like helium.
Yo. Oh man, Patrick's in a mood today. Woo. Woo. He was doing a count. He's like getting all excited before we go live.
You know what I actually did? You know, I'm good. What about you, man?
I'm living the dream.
You know what I did? I outlined a 2-minute Tuesday right there while we were waiting in my new fancy OneNote where I produce my videos at. So that's what I was doing.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
That's great. How was everyone's Saturday going? I saw folks from around the world, Nigeria, UK, US, all around. That is amazing.
Yep.
Good to see everyone today. And Matthew Roach woke up as well. So he's in the house. So Saturday morning, let's do this. First off, big thank you to all of the members of Guy in a Cube. Thank you so much. You help us do what we do, and it is very much appreciated. So thank you for that. Wait, why did that not? It did go away, but now it's still saying no. That's a different one. Anyway, all right, I'm getting into it. So just a reminder, the first half of the live stream is going to be open chat, so everyone can participate. And then at the 30-minute mark, we are going to cut over to members only chat. Everyone can still watch, but the members will be able to actually participate in the chat, and then super chats take priority. So, and then also please remember to put a Q colon in front of your questions. Chatmaster C is standing by to queue those up. She is in the background, and please do not repeat your questions. We have a 3 strikes rule. At that point, you will be put in a timeout. So, and my moderators, I see Chris, I know Matthew's on. Moderators have that power as well. If you spot it, feel free. So, all right.
Ian and I were
Oh,
chatting about
Ian.
my t-shirt.
Yeah.
There you go, Ian. There you go.
That was
not
a
as
long.
tight as I thought it was going to be. That was a long time ago.
Well, that was a long time ago, but that was a long user group meeting.
No,
that thing kept going. And that was the user group meeting where during the break when there was food, the gal that was helping with the prep and stuff referred to Patrick as Will Smith. That was that event. All right.
Say that.
So streaming setups that we're using for those interested. This is my crazy setup. Brent Ozar refers to it as the banana setup. Lots of stuff. And then Patrick's stuff is awesome as well, but not as crazy, but it gets the job done. And we're waiting for Patrick's Go XLR to get in so he can change up his microphone situation, and we'll see if it's better. Not as hopeful, but yeah. So, Alrighty. All right. Should we get into the questions, Patrick? Is there, also, if you're new here for Guy in a Cube for the first time, whether it be just a Guy in a Cube or to the live stream, put hashtag new in the chat. I know all of our old timers will do that. So, ComInfo made a comment about your wristband, Patrick.
My wristband. What'd they say?
What happened to the red watch band?
Stay tuned. They changed.
They do change. That was specifically changed. That was the Power BI band with your Power BI logo.
So this is going for a month. This will go for the entire. I'm celebrating Power BI's birthday for 30 days. So
nice.
I'm not changing this out until later in August. So
yeah, let's see if he remembers. Let's see if he remembers. All right, so we see some new folks in there. I see George. I see Benet Prasi, Lord Kiopas, Gwen, Scott. Welcome. Thomas is still Stone Age BI. Nice. Robert, new to the live. Love the content. Awesome to see. And Craig is new live-ish. Awesome. Vashnav, not new. Eric is new. KX229, Roger 111, Ken. Very nice. Awesome. Good to see everyone. All right, let's get into these questions. First up, ComInfo's got one. Let's see here. Actually, yes. ComInfo's got one. I have an app with report A and report B. I want user A to only view report A and user B to view only report B. No. So the way apps work today, it's a good question. The way apps work is it's one app per workspace, and you have an access list for the app, not for the elements inside the app. So unfortunately, you'd have to actually have two different workspaces to accomplish that goal. And you could use a shared data set to do it. But that's kind of where it's at today. So I would say if that's something that you're interested in, make sure you go to ideas.powerbi.com. And I know there's an item out there you can vote up. So that has been a discussion for a while about just apps in general. A lot of people are, have feedback on how those apps should work, whether there should be multiple apps per workspace, one app for a workspace with finer grained permissions inside the app. So make sure you go to ideas.powerbi.com to vote that up. And then Isaac, thank you for becoming a supporter. Very much appreciated. All right. Good question. All right. Paresh. I want to implement Power BI embedded for external customers with very limited number of users. Is it mandatory to have dedicated capacity in prod, or I can go with the pro license? So when you go to production for Power BI embedded, if you're using the embed token, so the generate token API, it is required to have dedicated capacity. That could either be the Azure Power BI embedded SKU, it could be Power BI Premium, doesn't matter, but you have to have dedicated capacity. If you don't, there is a cap on the number of embed tokens that you can generate from the generate token API. So you will hit a hard cap at some point where it'll just stop working. So you got to be careful about that. So yes, you have to have dedicated capacity. Good question.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. Just checking the stream real quick. All right. MD the Diet has a question. What is the best approach for version control, Git or SharePoint? And there's also there's going to be, I saw another question out there. I'm not seeing it get summarized also, but it was about source control as well. So let's talk about source control for a minute. The best approach for version control. So the way version control works today is that you can't, the Power BI desktop file is just a binary file, right? So you can't do, when most people talk about version control, they're talking about, I want source control on the model. I want it on maybe the Power Query stuff as well as the report itself, right? So you can't break out those components from a source control perspective. And so what you're left with is the Power BI desktop file. Now, the recent items with Tabular Editor and some of the external tool usage, that does allow you to potentially script out the data model and source control that. But there are some limitations on what you can do from a write back perspective, so be aware of that. But in general, we're talking about the binary file of the PBIX. And so a lot of folks say to go with the SharePoint route and or OneDrive. It's kind of the same thing because then it's got the version control on the PBIX, and you can do the PBIX integration with a given workspace as well. Git works as well, but just know that you've got to handle the Git items and merging and all of that. So it's a binary file. And then that would be the same if you did it on Azure DevOps as well. Do what?
The merging will be the challenge since it's a binary, right?
Yeah, you can't do a
Merging will
merge.
be- yeah. So you gotta be careful with that.
Yeah. So there was another one I saw early on, but I don't see it.
I think
queued
you're talking about the one where Matthew calls me handsome. I think that's the question.
That was not like Pat. No, no, that was not. There was one I saw it. It was like it was really good, and I had this whole idea for it, but I don't. Where'd it go? All right. All right. I'm going to abandon the looking for that.
Yeah.
That makes me sad. Okay. Scott Masters, have you guys covered the Sanky visualization yet? That is a big negative. We have not. So
Sanky?
that it's a custom visual. And the thing I've said this before, but we try to avoid just doing like a feature item, just like doing a video on a specific feature, because that's not very interesting. So it's more about the scenario. So like what is the scenario where we can end up using something like that? So yeah, we haven't done anything on that. Not yet. Nothing has come up in regards to that.
This Sanky.
Oh, and Patrick's on a mission now.
Sanky is. I don't know what it is. Sanky.
All right, Vinay. How can we set the default value in the date filter slicer? Say by default, when a user loads a report, it should show date from the current month, and then the user is free to change the filter. That's all, Patrick.
I did a video on this.
You did do a video
where
on that.
you can go into your calendar table. Hopefully you have one, or if you don't, if you have a flat table, you create a column that is looking for today, and it always marks the value as today, and then you bring it over into your filter and you set that value, and it's always going to be today. If it comes tomorrow, you're just looking for, you're doing the equal. You're saying if this day equals now, or something like that, however you have it formatted. And then you just set that in your filter, and it will always be today. And then they would just need to go change it every time they do it. There you go. Go check out the video.
Nice.
The video does a better job of explaining it than my explanation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, the Sanky. The Sanky is a flow diagram. Okay, yeah, I know this. I know this
Yeah.
guy. Okay, yeah, there you go. The Sanky. The Sanky. Okay.
See, now you can do a video on that.
I'm not doing a video on that. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. Unless there's a use case, unless we come up with some problem solving. Otherwise,
So Vinay added another comment in there just about that the user should then be able to change it.
yeah, they can go in. So the thing is, it's not going to set it to that date. That's the challenge, right? You're gonna have a flag that you set, and so if you put it in the filter pane and show my laptop, just show my laptop.
Oh, all right. You ready?
All right. Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, I didn't. All right, it's up.
Yeah, and so let's say I have this calendar table, and I probably wouldn't do it in DAX. I probably would try to push this off somewhere else, right? I wouldn't do it in DAX. I would do it in the code or in my source. But like, see how I have, maybe let's pretend that today is July 1st, 2005, right? And so I would add this new calculated column. I don't even know how to add a calculated column because I don't add them that often. I don't know where my calendar is. That's why I'm doing a calculated column. But so I would call this is today, right? I would say is today, and then I need to zoom in on that, huh, Adam?
Yeah, a little bit. Or
right,
bump up the
hold on.
font. Bump up the font.
Yeah, there we go. It's coming. There we go. Yesterday.
When I said bump up the font in my head, I had the music of Pump Up the Volume.
Pump up the volume, pump up the volume. Yeah.
Bump
So
up the font.
it would be like this. Is today. Come on, why aren't you working? Do I not have a calendar? Come on. Why did I not do a calculated column?
No, because Patrick doesn't like calculated columns.
I don't. And then you would just compare it. It would be an if. Sorry, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing?
So it'd be if calendar. Come on. Here we go. Calendar. There we go. Come on. My laptop's freaking out over here. Look at it. I'm not even touching it. Look at that.
His hands are up in
Look
the
at
air.
that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Look. Oh, they can't see.
No,
And
no,
so it would be if calendar date. I don't know what.
Oh, what are you doing?
There we go. Every time I type something, so it would be if calendar. If I could, it would say if calendar equals now, and then I would say if it is, set it 1 or yes. Otherwise, set it no. And then that would give me that flag that I could use in my filter pane, and then I would drag that over to the filter pane and say today. And then as soon as the report loads up, it's always going to be filtered on today. And then if they want to change it, they just uncheck that and then use your date picker or whatever it is you have.
Yeah.
I broke it. Yes, I did break it, Laura. Every time I type something, it starts doing that too. So I'm not going to type. I'm going to restart this desktop. And then you would set it that way. Then they can, then it becomes a little training. Please make it stop. Then it becomes a little training that what you have to show your end users. But by default, you can't just do it out of the box. I'm shutting this one down, Adam. Use Notepad. You can type faster. I can't. Anyway, I'm shutting this one down, and I'm going to restart this. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done. Sorry.
Did you not restart before the stream? Because that's like our checklist.
I did.
Reboot the
I
machines.
restarted the whole thing. Restarted the whole. No, I did not. I did not
no.
reboot this one.
Yeah.
I did not reboot this one.
See? Yeah,
reboot
James says
this.
it's time for a new laptop, so he wants you to spend more money.
And you know what? I remember I talked about getting a new laptop. I mentioned that to you. I did mention getting a new laptop.
Maybe it's your administrator that caused the problem. I don't know. Maybe
we'll
that's
see.
the problem. All right. Okay. Let's see here. So DJ Bakalula. I don't know if I said that right. Date filter. It shows the older dates first, then the newer ones. Is there a way to do this so that the latest date is shown in the filter pane? Not sure if it's possible.
Yeah, sort it.
Well, so the filter pane, though, I don't know if the filter pane, the results there actually honor like the sort by.
Oh, that's
I don't think it does.
That's right.
Think it
I'm
does.
dragging something in the filter pane right now. I'm dragging it.
Yeah, yeah. Scott Masters, thank you for becoming a member. Much appreciated. Heidi's there.
Right.
Hey, Heidi.
He's
So
right.
yeah, I don't
He's
think
right.
I don't think the filter pane honors the sort by. I'm pretty sure.
I'm changing the sort. I'm
Okay.
changing it.
Okay.
Changing it. Hang on. Let's sort,
Yeah, so Mark made the comment too. That's where we're going is create an inverted sort order. The problem is though is if the filter pane doesn't honor the sort order, that ain't gonna help you. So are you?
Doesn't look like it's helping either.
All right, I'm going back
it's
to
not
your
helping.
machine.
It's pointless to show. It's pointless. It's pointless. It's not gonna work.
Wait, how's it? How did you verify?
Look, it's still there.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So I don't think it supports the sort order. That's a shame. That's sad. Jenna Smith, thank you for becoming a member. Ideas.powerbi.com.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Good question though. Good question.
That's bad.
All right, Joe. Joe's got a question here. I have a Power Pivot model that can benefit my team. Can I share the model with team the same way an analysis services cube is shared access? That is a big negative. So Power Pivot model resides in the Excel file itself. So you could share the Excel file, but it's like any other Excel file from that standpoint. And then you can, there used to be a grow up story with Power Pivot. Or no, sorry, that was on the I think there is
Azure AS. That was
there is a
Azure
grow up.
AS,
Isn't there a grow up story though for Power Pivot to AS? I think that does exist.
Well, you know what you could do.
So I know the Power BI desktop
yes,
grow
yes,
up
yeah,
went away.
Yes, Yeah, so you can you can take that Power Pivot model, put it on your
Yes.
AS server, and
Yes.
then you can restore it.
Yes.
Or, right, they can open, or they can go file import, and they can import the Power Pivot model from Excel.
That doesn't work.
Yeah, right there. Look, Power Query,
Okay.
Power Pivot.
Yeah, there you go. All right, cool. Yeah, you can do
yeah,
that.
yeah. So you
Yes.
can import it and
In the
then
Power
you
BI
can push it out.
desktop,
Yeah.
and then
Oh,
share it in the Power BI
should do
service.
a-
Oh, that should be a video.
Oh my God, that's a video.
Oh, wait,
that's a
Patrick.
great
Show,
2-minute
wait,
Tuesday.
wait, Patrick. Don't go back. Go back.
Oh.
I didn't show your screen on that. All right. So, yeah. So that's what Patrick is saying. Where if you go to File and then Import, you can go Power Query, Power Pivot, Power View to bring it into Power BI Desktop, and then put it in the service, right?
That
So-
is a video.
So- Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right.
Oh my God.
So just with Power Pivot and Excel itself, you can't do like sharing like you can with AS or a Power BI data set or something like that. So good question. Good
Hey,
question.
can I ask a question? Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question?
No, other people
So,
ask the
I mean-
questions. We answer the questions. Yeah, what's your question? It's
I
messing
have
up my
seen
flow.
a lot of. I know, but I have to ask this. It's just kind of a. It's really like a survey. I see a lot of people saying, "Hey, you guys always talk about data models in Power BI, but you never talk about Live Connect to AS." I see that a lot. I do. I see the look on your face on like multiple sections of my monitor. But I'm curious, would people be interested in more videos talking about, or at least we mention, hey, you can also do this with analysis services. So I'm just curious. Post it in the chat. Let me know. I'm just curious. Adam doesn't care about this, but I do.
It's kind of like your Linux SQL server. Oh, we got some yeses. Heidi, Scott,
Yeah, Heidi, Scott.
Vashnev.
I can't-
All right, we got three.
Three.
Four.
Four.
Kelly's in.
5.
Ah,
Uh-oh.
Thomas.
said no.
I knew there was a reason I like Thomas. Oh, that's funny.
Look, lots of them right there. Maybe
Simon
a few.
Green, thank
I
you for
may do
becoming a
few.
member. Much appreciated. All right.
I may do a few.
All right. So we got another question. How to break up a row and display as multi-row.
Oh. So you want a carriage return? Is that what they want?
Maybe.
Because
Maybe.
Alberto, in Alberto's video on Concatenate X that he did, he put a unicar.
You can do
thing.
you can do a Unicode character to do the
Yeah.
yes.
If that's what he's talking about. If
Yeah.
that's what he's
So you
talking
can do that from a measure
so you-
or whatnot.
Yeah, Unicar 10. There you go. Unicar 10.
Yeah.
And so you
Michael
put your
Mays.
measure, you wrap your measure in a format which makes it a string. And let's say you wanted to have multiple measures on multiple lines, you can do, concatenate them that way. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I don't know what Thomas is talking about, but he said Windows T-SQL functions. I don't know is that a thing?
Well, if he's talking about maybe because if you return it in the query, then you can break it up things on different rows.
Yeah.
I don't know.
VJ says it's in Power Query Editor
Okay.
as well. So, okay. All right. Good. Wow, we're getting through a lot of these. All right. Lakshman has a question for Patrick. Is Delta Refresh available in Power BI Report Server?
If you use Azure analysis, if you use analysis services, but not out of the box.
It's not PBIRS. You have to do it external to PBIRS, Power BI Report Server. Yes, good question.
It's
Good question. All right, Ken. Mr. Ken, how can you capture forecast numbers from a line chart in real time to use elsewhere in a report? Display 14-day forecast. Well, so real time, it's got to be historical to do that.
Yep.
Like you have to have the data stored somewhere to do it across those items. So yeah, if you're doing streaming of data, also doing streaming of data today is the only thing you can do today is dashboards. Like you can't even do a report. It only supports historical data, so yeah. So you'd have to have it, and then from that perspective, once you have historical data, then it's just DAX. Yeah. Good question, Ken. Sorry you didn't. That answer was not for you, but all right, George. Do I need to learn any programming languages in order to be a data analyst using Power BI, exception of SQL? So
except SQL.
Except, yes. So when we say programming languages, so when you say programming languages to me versus Patrick, we take it two different ways. When you're talking to me, I'm thinking C#, JavaScript, Ruby.
VB.
Yeah, well, no, not VB. Don't do VB. So you don't need that. The other thing that's interesting, if you look, at things like Definitive Guide to DAX, so you should absolutely learn DAX and M syntax for Power Query. But like one of the things I've heard Marco say a lot is DAX itself, if you come from that programming language, like real programming languages, he even says it in the beginning of the Definitive Guide to DAX, of that thought process of regular like C# or C++ or something like that, it doesn't translate when you go to DAX because it's a whole different thing. So you don't need to have that experience. So you can learn M syntax and DAX and be fine. And if you know SQL, that's even better. But even SQL is not necessarily required if you don't even have access to your database. So
yeah.
Yep.
If you talk programming language to me, we're talking about COBOL or Fortran.
Wow. Oh boy. Wow. See, and I thought you were going to go punch cards. That's what I thought you were going to do.
Punch card.
Yeah, there you go. He's got his abacus ready.
COBOL.
So,
What?
Now,
COBOL?
yeah. Now, if you're doing Power BI embedded, then you absolutely need to know some programming languages.
Yeah.
So whether it's C# or something of that nature. So Python, something, because then you have to write the application that embeds all that stuff. So that's a whole different game. So
Laura, yes, I am old enough. Actually, the first language I learned was in the 11th grade on one of the big, green that prints on the green paper. We learned COBOL. Yeah, in high scholl. So yeah.
Wow, lots of people reacting to that one.
Yeah.
Wow. I will say the first.
Somebody did mention Python and R. But I don't know if those are considered programming.
Well, Python
languages.
definitely is.
I don't know.
Python definitely
Python is.
is.
Well,
again, what's your definition of programming languages?
I guess so.
The Python and R are interesting just from a data science perspective, and then you have those visuals inside of Power BI, which I will be honest, I don't know, I haven't heard, that doesn't come up a lot. So I think that's a very niche type thing. So yeah.
Kelly said, I was ready for Y2K. yes, I was.
Yes. I remember I was doing support when the Y2K thing happened. I was doing Windows 95, 98 support, and we were fully staffed at midnight for the Y2K thing, and all I remember is we were in the aisles of the call center, like playing football with like a Nerf football. Yeah. That was the whole time, and then they sent us home at like 1 a.m. It was like nothing. Yeah. That was a good time. Yeah. All right. We're getting up on the cutover. So let's look at future analytics. So any way to capture username who logged into Power BI? Audit log. Audit log captures all of that. Well, in terms of not necessarily who logged in from the Power BI audit log, but you can get who viewed reports. In terms of who actually logged in to Power BI, that can be captured from the Azure AD side of the house. I believe in order to get that, you have to have the Azure AD Premium subscription. And then that will capture all of the actual sign-ins for your tenant. In terms of a report, you can use the username or user principal name function, and that will display, or you can do things like row-level security. It's not necessarily going to do the write back on its. You can't do write back on its own. You could pump that in as a parameter like an embedded Power App and do a write back that way, but that would be weird. I don't know what the scenario is around why you need that though. So that would be interesting to understand. So,
yeah, it would be.
All right, Let's get one more. Sagar. Is there a way to hide report pages to the specific user? Yes. So Patrick, cut over to. I don't know what your. Yeah, let's cut over to your machine.
What do you do?
So if you zoom in on the zoom in with a Control 4 and like show the right click hide.
Right down here?
Yep. Right click. Oh,
I gotta
you
have
need
more
to
than
you
one
get
page.
to add another page. There you go.
Yeah.
Then right click, and then you can hide the page in Power BI Desktop. So what you can't do, so row level security allows you to do things based on the given username. What I've seen people do is they create like a page name table, and then you can have custom navigation after you've hit all the pages, and use row level security to help manage that based on a per user. Like that's what they would see in the page navigation. To be very clear, that is not security. That is obfuscation. So I could still get to those pages if I knew the URL patterns and whatnot. So there's no way to do it from a security standpoint. There is a way to control it just from a general app navigation perspective. But just know that is not security. So
Gilbert Q at, I forget the name of his. It's on my
Formu
here. This guy.
Formu.
He wrote a blog post on it. Go check it out.
Yep. Nick Doy, thank you for becoming a member. All right. It is the 30-minute mark, so we are going to cut over to member-only chat. Are you ready, Patrick?
Is Matthew staying with us this time?
Yeah, he's a moderator, so he can stay.
Okay.
Yeah, Matthew's still there. That's why we made him a moderator specifically for that.
Okay.
All right. We are now members only, so folks can still watch. So don't go anywhere. We will answer questions. So now it's members only, and then super chats take priority. So if you are not a member and you do have a burning question, super chats always take priority. So that is a way you can do it. All right, Neil had a question. So I do see a few members that are there with questions. I don't know everyone. So if you do want to repost your question, feel free if you are a member, just to get those queued back up. Neil had a question. Are you considering taking the newly released exam DA100?
Me? I'm
You,
not taking
Patrick.
an exam. No,
Yes.
no,
I'm not either.
taking DA100.
I'm not either.
I'm
We
not
we
taking
did the
it.
old Power BI cert, and boy did we sweat. I am not good at taking tests. And I have no real incentive to take it from my standpoint, whether it's my day job or guy in a cube. I mean, it'd be interesting to take it. Now, one thing I did do, like I helped review a lot of the learned content for the DA100.
Yeah.
So I'm just not personally looking to take it.
Go read Matthew. I think Matthew did a blog post on certifications recently on his blog. I think, didn't you, Matthew?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
what
he
I had it ready.
Oh,
Did he
sorry.
post it already? He did post it.
Yeah,
Oh,
he did.
I had it ready to go. I was going to paste it too. Thanks for. So he put his thoughts on the certification. It's a great read. Definitely go check it out. So that was good.
Yeah.
All right. Where am I? All right. There was another. I thought there was another one in there. Nope. All right. So Kelly had a question. I ended up queuing it, even though she didn't put a Q colon in front of it. And I saw Matthew had responded also, but it was a good one. Dataflows. What happens during the validation process? So native queries tend to be noticeably slower and don't save. That might have been cut off, maybe. And I know Matthew responded to it, but it was a good question. The validation actually also happens. You may hit this from a regular just Power BI if you're trying to refresh a data set. Some of the or even when you're creating data sources on the gateway, you'll see it. Like the validation stuff kicks in, and all it's doing is just trying to make sure that the query is going to run, right? So that there's not necessarily an error. It can add some delay on certain things, so be aware of that. So. Yep. Cool. So Nick Doy, recent member. I noticed primary keys in Dataflows online. Is that coming to desktop, and are they necessary? I don't know if they're coming to
I
desktop.
don't know, but it's not. You need to have a unique. If you're creating one-to-many relationships, you do need to have a distinct ID on the one side of the relationship, or it's gonna do some crazy many-to-many. And I just was on with somebody, and they couldn't do row-level security. It was crazy. So yes, you do need to have not necessarily a primary key, but a unique identifier for each
Yep.
row.
So cool. Yeah, I don't know if that's coming to desktop, and I don't know if what the benefit would be on the desktop side versus Dataflows. So that would be interesting. Do what?
Now go ahead. Go ahead.
All
Keep going. Let's just
All right,
talk- talk
Chris
to myself a
Wagner.
little bit.
Chris Wagner. What tips do you have for multiple teams working on a single model?
Chris, are we talking about the data model and not the report? If we're talking about the data model itself, man, you can do tabular editor, you can use SS with all the stuff that's available now, which you can write back. You know, use those tools, and you can do version control, and then you can do some great stuff. I was reading this, Daniel, the guy who wrote the, I don't know how to pronounce Daniel's last name, for tabular editor.
Rubelo?
He's got like a 3. Is it? No, not Daniel on our team.
Oh,
Daniel who
oh,
wrote
oh.
the tabular
Oh,
editor.
okay.
He did some videos, Chris, on we're managing our models all wrong, and he did like 4 videos using tabular editors on how to do DevOps against your model. I would check that out, Chris. But I can't pronounce it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but go check it out, Chris, and send me some messages if you have questions. I'm curious. I do want to know about this because I think that could make some good videos about. Adam's probably like, no.
No. I
Version
mean,
control-
yeah, my that was where I was going. Is my assumption on his question is more about multiple people working on the data model. And you're absolutely right. At that point, you're going to go with, you want to do source control on that, and then you can do merges, and ALM toolkit can help.
ALM toolkit. Yeah.
So yeah.
Atikia.
There you go.
Atikia.
There you go.
All right. Hey Heidi. There's Heidi.
Heidi, thank you so much for becoming a member. Awesome. All right. So we got. Let's see where we are on the. All right. So Chatmaster C actually had a great recommendation last week, and I didn't implement that this week, and now I'm struggling again. So I think.
Man, you really need to listen to her.
I do. She's sitting there, probably screaming at her monitor, saying the same thing. She's now typing in Teams. Michael Mays. Was that the beginning? Yes, Michael Mays was the beginning. All right, let's go.
God, you need to listen to her.
I know. Where is Michael?
You know, I say
There he is.
I tell
All
you
right.
this all the time too.
Yes. All right, Michael, is there a way to use DAX Studio to see how long measures take to calculate in Power Pivot? Or do I need to import the model into Power BI first? Thought you could.
You can absolutely connect. You can absolutely connect to a Power Pivot model.
Yeah, I thought
And,
you could.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Here,
See,
hang on.
show my screen.
I'm showing my screen, buddy.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
my
Look
bad,
at that.
my
Look at that.
bad,
Look at
my
that.
bad.
Look at that right there. Power Pivot model. Bam. Bam. There you go. Helped out Michael. That was good. That was good. Ashwarya, thank you for becoming a member.
Man, you're good with these names. Oh my God, you're so good with these names.
I just pronounce them like I can read them. It could be completely wrong.
Oh wait,
What?
Michael has a follow
Oh,
up. How do I
oh.
copy the query runs. So
How do I copy-
So
oh.
you know what you could do. You could, if you have a visual that you create, Michael, you could connect to the model, turn on server all queries, click all queries, and as you are interacting with the model, like if you drug a measure into the pivot field list, it'll actually send that query like a trace. It's like running a trace against the model. Then if you double click it, it'll put that query in the query window, and then you can run it.
So the other thing you can do too is if you created a measure in the Power Pivot model, I'm assuming when you connect with DAX Studio, you can actually get those measures and whatnot. But yeah, if you're looking for the query that the visual actually runs, you can do tracing and things of that nature.
I'm doing a 2-minute Tuesday on that.
Okay. Hashtag
Profiling
Excel.
your model with DAX Studio. Profiling your model. I'm going to have a
Profiling your
model.
Power Pivot model. Or you can do
Yes.
both.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to do both.
Hashtag
Stay
Excel.
tuned, Michael.
Hashtag Excel.
Hashtag
That's all I'm
Excel.
saying.
You should put Excel in the title because then like 1 million people will watch it because
Yes.
it's Excel.
Yeah. All right, Scott. I have a matrix with a month-year field in the columns. Is it possible to sort the values by one of the months? I can do it total, but we want it to be the last month visible in the matrix. I can do it total.
Is it possible to sort the values by one of the months? What does he mean, one of the
values
months?
by one of the months. I don't. So, I mean, you can have sorts on different columns. The thing to know about matrix, and I was in a discussion on this a while back too, of they wanted, so like if we're sorting, so say if we have years and then months from a matrix perspective, when they sort months, they just want all the months to be together. In their case, it wasn't months because that wouldn't really make sense. But so they wanted to almost ignore the years and just sort the months. But that's not how the matrix visual works. So because it's going to sort it within the context of the year, right? So I don't know. Do you want a custom order on the months within the year? You could do that
Can sort this.
because you could have a sort by column on the month. That should work. So Scott is saying, hang on, gotta follow up. He said I can sort the total, but I want to sort it by one of the months. I don't understand that. I'm not sure what you're trying to go for there. I'd have to see it. The other question would be, can you do that in a pivot table in Excel? Because if the answer is no there, then you definitely can't do it in a matrix.
Yeah.
So maybe, and the other thing I would add there is things you can do in a Power Pivot or in a pivot table in Excel, you can't necessarily do in a matrix in Power BI. So it's not, doesn't have all of that. So, okay. Let's go. Chris. I'll ask this every month or so. Is there a way for primary and secondary access bar and line combo to auto scale to the same min max together? I don't think you can.
Not
I
the
don't
auto
think so.
scale.
Yeah, not auto scaling. I'd have to play with it more, but I want to say no to that as well. Off the top of my head, I'll be honest with you. I don't know, but I'm leaning towards no on that. I don't think you can. I'd have to
Not
try
auto
it though.
scale. Because the scale is based on the min and max values in
Yeah.
that column, in those values. And so
Right.
if they're not close enough, it's not going to scale the same way. You can go
Yeah.
hard code it, but it's not going
Yeah.
to auto scale.
So Michael said that Zebra BI maybe has a custom visual for that. So check that out. So
Right.
in the base visuals, you can't, at least today. So
A couple of new members
check that
here.
out. Yeah, we do have a couple new members. So Teja and Supriya, thank you for becoming members. Very much appreciated.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, Jessica. Rant. I shared a link to a Power BI file and it ended up corrupted. What? On top of it, the user's laptop blew up. Oh,
Oh my god.
so you sent
just
something
ran
to
it. She just
so you,
ran it.
so you sent something to Patrick?
She's just ranting.
Wow.
Is that what's wrong with my laptop, Jessica?
Yeah.
Did you
Jessica
break it?
sent you. I don't know. Wow, the laptop blew up. That's not good.
That's not good.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't think it was because of Power BI though. Just saying. All right, Jaja. Is it possible to automate my manual process of right-clicking a binary of a CSV file? So CSV files aren't binary. In Power Query and choosing Add as a new query to apply same applied steps. Okay, so something like a template steps or template from a Power Query perspective. Like you can do snippets of things like in Visual Studio. Power Query doesn't have that functionality that I've seen. So you could, like you want to be able to like almost template a step to be able to add. So steps that you do frequently, being able to throw that in there. You'd have to like almost copy the actual query itself, and then
What if you had a
add that in.
function? What if you had a function or a query that accepted something at that point, and then it would just it would add everything you want?
Potentially, yeah.
Maybe.
But then applying that to multiple files, you'd have to have
Well,
that
that's-
saved somewhere
yeah.
and then copying that in.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm thinking like in
that's-
Visual
that's
Studio, you
different.
can have like those code snippets and then add those
Yep.
in, and like Power BI doesn't have that. So
See,
that's a good
Matthew
question.
just said it. Matthew just said you can
Yeah,
turn it
yeah.
into a function.
Matthew said it. Yeah. You and Matthew are
minds,
like a
Matthew.
mind meld right there.
Great minds, Matthew.
All
Great
right.
minds.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Laura, I have a manager wanting to plot dates on the y-axis. How would you even start? All right. So every time I think y-axis and x-axis, I always get confused. The y-axis is the up and down, right? X-axis is left and right. So I gotta think about that. So you can't do today. You can't do category fields on the up and down the y-axis. So you can only do like the measure piece of it on that. Just go Y to the sky. Nice, I like that. Gonna use that. So there's not a way to do that. So, sorry. Sorry.
Y to the sky.
Y to the
We'll
sky. I
never
gotta
forget
remember that.
We'll never forget it. We'll never forget it now. We'll
Laura,
never forget it.
Laura said
Y
the
to the
answer can't be don't do it. I would go back. So I think Matthew was commenting on this earlier, and I agree with this. Of like, what's the scenario that you're trying to do, right? Why would you do this? I would not say never. Never say never, right? Like, there's probably an edge case somewhere.
Oh my God! Did you just say never say never?
Never say never. Never say never. Or if you're Goonies, never say die.
Wait,
yeah, I want to know the scenario.
But wait, Adam. But wait, what if you use a
James,
Wait,
get a new manager.
but look at this. Look at this. You want
am I
Y
looking
to
at?
the sky.
What am I looking at?
You
Are
want
we
Y
going to
to
your
the
machine?
sky, right?
I'm going to your machine.
Look,
Need to zoom in,
what
buddy.
if you put?
Yeah, but that's because
hang
it's a
on one
numeric
second.
field. You can't do. You couldn't
Wait,
do like if you had a
wait.
year month. You can't do that
Why did it not do my?
because it only does numeric.
No, what I mean is I just used a different element, right?
What?
I just moved the date, right? But why is it putting my number? Why is it not using my date right there?
Because it's a numeric.
Okay, you keep talking, but this is gonna work.
Patrick's on a mission now. All right, Laura, Patrick is doing the work for you. Okay, all right. And I liked Matthew's comment earlier about the laptop exploding. He said the feature's still in preview. He said Patrick's helping the PM team finish it for GA.
Oh my God.
All right, Scott. We have a great what?
Keep talking. You keep
Okay.
talking.
Oh, I see you. Oh, wait. Yeah, he did
You
it.
see what I'm saying? You
All right,
see
hang
what
on.
I'm
We're,
saying?
Scott, we're
That's
coming
awesome.
back to you. Hang on. We're going over to Patrick's machine. So he got month on the
Hang on, just-
y-axis.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm gonna choose January right here, and then I'm gonna get rid of month.
Wait, I went back to my
And then
machine.
I'm-
What am I doing?
I don't know. I don't
Okay,
know.
there we go. I can't see your screen, but I see your screen, but it's really small.
But I don't understand why when I bring date over, it's showing year. See, I add date to my
you brought the date column.
yeah.
Don't bring the date column. Why would you bring the
What
date
column do you
column?
want? I thought she wanted date on the y-axis. Y to the sky.
Yeah, but you're actually bringing like the primary key on there.
So what do you want me to bring?
Like bring month.
What do you want?
Bring month.
Okay, let's put month.
No bother.
I'm gonna get rid of this. Yeah. so month
Your
will go on
laptop
that
is
axis.
struggling, buddy.
Yeah. There you go. Look.
Oh, yeah, we got month on the y-axis. All right, so Laura, what are you trying to do? What's not working for you? That would be what I would like. So Thomas is saying that's August over all years. That's true.
Yeah. So I'll bring year over to my slicer.
Well, or you could do like a concatenated like year month,
Yeah.
like if you have
Yeah,
that
I
column.
could do something. Yeah, I don't have
All
that
right.
column, but I mean, I can go add it.
Yeah.
But
Now, what I don't think you can do, like in the x-axis, you can do the combo where I have like the month and then the years are down below, like bucketed. Can't do that on the y-axis. Right? All right. Patrick's just playing around.
yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Let's go back to Scott.
Laura said cool. Laura said cool. Laura
Okay.
said cool. That's all that matters.
All right. And Rishi, no, that was not an auto date hierarchy. That was an actual calendar table. All right, Scott, we have a great use case for the Sanky. He's back on the Sanky to visualize cash flow into and out of the company using fiscal posting dates. If there's interest, how can I share more details for this use case? Shoot us an email at info@guiinacube.com. So,
Yeah. We'll read it. We'll definitely read it.
Patrick may do a video on it. All right, where are we at? All right, Vashnav. What are the pros and cons of using OData connector in Power BI Desktop? Con, it's slow. Usually. That's the biggest con. Pros, well, I mean, pros are it's flexible, right? So if you have an OData connector, it's effectively like coming out of a feed somewhere on a website. So it gives you flexibility in that standpoint. Some of the cons, though, is typically the data coming out of that is not structured in a way that is, great. So you're probably, it's not like a data warehouse, right? But also the performance is going to be problematic, especially if you have a large amount of data and you're having to go back on that feed multiple times. The other thing you got to pay attention to is query folding. So query folding does work with OData connectors, but it also depends on what you're trying to do. So your mileage with query folding may vary. And so performance overall is the biggest thing you got to pay attention to. And if you are noticing that performance is a problem, then you may need to look at staging it somewhere first before pulling it in. So it's a good question. What are you laughing at?
My laptop.
Laura, pro, you can get project data. Everyone needs the data. Nightmare is an experience. Is a nightmare in their experience. Yeah, getting Microsoft project data. Had so many people ping on that. So, and then Matthew also commented. I see big customers connecting to APIs from Dataflows and then having their users connect. Yeah, so and that goes more to that intermediate stage, but still using Power Query, which is nice. But you're not necessarily getting that perf impact from a dataset refresh perspective on the Power BI desktop side, which is nice. Kind of offset it a little. And then Thomas, OData is XML. Yes, typically the structure of it is XML. But the OData connector knows how to parse it, so you're not actually doing that parsing from a Power Query perspective directly.
I think I did a video.
I don't think you did.
I did with OData when I did the query diagnostics, and I showed the query folding because Matt Mason helped me with it. I did.
Okay.
I did.
Kevin, thank you for becoming a member.
Thank you
Very
so
nice.
much, Kevin.
Very
How's
nice.
it going, Kevin? Yeah.
And Laura said project data is her life right now. So, all right, Troy, what do we got? Can we have a slicer that switches the map visual to use a particular state field, such shipper or receiver state? This would be for use on one map. So, I mean, you can use a measure. What? Go ahead.
I can think about this because, I think he's got two columns. I think he's got a shipper state and a receiver state. And if I choose shipper, I want it to affect the map. And if I choose receiver, I want it to affect the map. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I could think of is, if you're having a DAX measure in for the map items, within the DAX, you could do a switch based on, like, if you have a slicer switching between receiver and shipper, then the DAX measure inside of there, you're just switching between what are you pulling. So that should work. I don't know if you tried that or if that's not what you're looking for, Troy. So yeah, that would be what I would look at.
I think it's, yeah, that's a good point. Matthew said, can you do this with end user customization? I don't know if we ship the personalized stuff yet in.
Well, so I don't know if that works with the map visual because it's limited to the visuals that you can use it on. I want to say it doesn't work with the map visual. So
I don't know, Matthew. Good point, though. I
yeah.
just don't know.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's another option if you're not sure about the personalized visual. But so that requires the end user to know which field to drop in. Whereas in Troy's scenario, he's like, look, I've got a slicer and I can say receiver is shipped, and the end user doesn't need to think about what's actually being used. Or with the personalized visual, like if you had a table or something or a bar chart, they could actually adjust what those items are. So actually,
you know what you could do?
Go in and
you know what you could do? You know what you could do? You can combine. Listen to this. Listen to this. You could have a slicer that says receiver or shipper state, right? And when you choose receiver, it shows a list of the receiver states. And then if you have it choose shipper, it shows a list of the shipper states. And when I click it, it'll automatically filter the map, but the map would have to be based on that slicer that combines the values, the receiver and the shipper states into one single list. That's what you would do. Got it.
Oh, check this out. Check this out. All right, let me go. So Matthew, to answer your question, yes, you can do personalized views. Why isn't it? This visual can be personalized by report readers. I thought it let you do it in Power BI Desktop.
No.
Okay.
You got to do it.
So once you publish it to the service, then you can swap those in and out. So that's an option. Just to know, for personalized visuals, though, you have to go to File, Options, and Settings. And then under Options, go down to Report Settings. Back. And then you have to check that. So, or you can do it once it's published in the service, and the report settings, you can turn it on. But then they could personalize that if that's what you wanted to do. So that's an option. All right. Cool. Let's see here. So Supriya. Hey, Adam and Patrick, could you please do a video on what if parameters? Oh, I thought you did one on that.
I did.
Like if I want to switch between, like if I want to switch between what if parameters based on a slicer value. Ooh. And take what if to the next level. Ooh, I like, she's talking to us right there. She's using our language. I like that.
I'm going to hang on. Don't get rid of that. Hang on 1 second. Because that's too much for me to type. I'm just going to get a snipping on it. I don't know if that's possible, but that's a good idea.
Okay. Well, so but think about this though. The what if item is effectively a parameter, right?
It is a parameter.
So you're just taking that value and you're using it in some measure, right?
Yeah.
And so, but they want to switch the what if parameter. So if you technically had two different what if parameters in DAX, you could absolutely switch between. I'm using this one or this one from a slicer perspective.
Yeah.
Or based on a slicer value. So you can do that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
All
you can do it, but that's a good idea.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Look at that. She's talking her language there though. Like take what if to the next level. Look at that.
Next level.
Heck, that's the video title right there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. Premchander. Is there a way to apply filter from a button? It's like slicer, but to customize the user experience. No. So the buttons themselves, buttons or images, like they can trigger, they have actions associated with them. So like it could be a bookmark, it could be like a web URL, but they don't actually interact with like filtering or anything like that. So you can't like set the value, but yeah.
I mean, you can go prepare the page. It's not filtering, but I can go prepare the page the way I want it to look, set a bookmark, then go filter the page and do another bookmark, right? And then click this button, it's filtered by 2011, then click this button and it's filtered by 2012. But you'd have to create a lot of buttons.
Well, but the buttons themselves aren't doing the filtering though, right? So you have predefined filtering that you're switching between from a bookmark perspective.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's see here. So Kevin's got a question. New member. Are you guys planning any new courses? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So if you go to Guiding Cube courses, so we do have So we've listed admin course and Power BI consumption course that you can sign up to be notified on when they're out. And then we've also got our blueprint course, which is like a beginner's intro to Power BI, and then our row level security course. So thank you. And that was, yes, I didn't force Kevin to type that in either. That was on Kevin's own accord. So good job, Kevin. Good job, Kevin. So yes, so we're working on admin courses right now. So administration of Power BI. We're looking at 2 there, and then a Power BI consumption course. Our goal is to get 3 more courses out before the end of the year.
So somebody made a good point about the whole button thing. If you
Yep.
change the, go ahead.
No,
Make
you.
a flag
I don't know what you're gonna.
Oh, so
I don't know what you're talking about.
if you set the orientation of the slicer to horizontal, then it looks like buttons, right? And then it'll look like buttons across it, and you don't have to do all the work. Who said that? That was a good point.
That was burning suit. So
burning soup.
and a lot of people also. So I think what he's talking about too is not only the slicer thing, but like a lot of people use like a chiclet slicer for that as well.
Oh yeah,
to get that kind of look.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
yep.
That's great.
Still going off on blowing up of the laptop. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm buying a new laptop.
Yes.
I'm gonna start looking. I just don't like very big laptops.
Yeah, Patrick likes small things. All right. Jaja, another CSV question. Is there a way to automate running M code on many CSV files, but incrementally increasing one of the numbers in the M code for each subsequent file?
French toast.
What?
Somebody sent what the French toast.
What the French toast?
I don't know about automating running. There's
M
you
code.
can against the CSV files. There's I don't know about automating.
I mean,
it,
you
but
can write
do
it.
increasing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You could write a query that does that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the scenario is there. All right, last one. I see that we're at the ending point, but Damu's got a question there. We're gonna get Damu's in. Is there a way to merge 2 models from 2 Power BI files to create a common model? Yes. So what you could do is if you have 2 Power BI desktop files, use ALM Toolkit, and you could get the merge difference on that, and then output that to like an AS model or something like that.
And then you can deploy it.
Yes.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
I would there may be some issues with that though. In terms of like the
Gotta test that
connections.
out.
Well, the connections is where I could see that causing some problems. So because I don't know how the ALM toolkit manages that. But theoretically that should work.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yep. Damu, do a video, Patrick. Yeah. Alrighty. That is it for today. Patrick, any closing words?
Thank you guys for hanging out with us next week. Did you tell them about next week before we leave? We have
What's
a special
next week?
guest next week? Or you...
Oh, we do it. So next
8th.
Saturday, so Reed Havens is going to be with us. So think about visualization questions. He's really good at visualization stuff. And so it'll be the 3 of us next week, August 8th.
Yep.
He's got to get up super early. Same with Matthew. So 'cause he's in Matthew world. So, alrighty. So we'll see you all during the week on Twitter and then next week on the live stream. So thanks for hanging out.